Hey there, everybody. It's the author, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we usually do on Wednesday afternoons, we take no more than about 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books or audiobooks, provide a couple of announcements, and then close out on as positive a manner as possible. As you're aware, when life is happening, sometimes you can't wait until the end of the day for that pick me up or the beginning of the next day. So I hope that our time on the Fast 15 is not only helpful to you, but it is helpful to me in regards to having a chance to pause and reboot. To stay connected, make sure to check me out on AuthorASnorton on Instagram. Click on the link in the bio. It'll take you to the Linktree. And then from there, you can check out the newsletter, the social media, the website, updates on book signings, and authors' talks, related events. Archival editions of the Conversation Corner through the Status Network, information on getting a really good bag or cup of coffee through our collaborative brand, the AuthorASnorton Blend with Fonte's Coffee, and more. So we definitely thank you for sharing, watching, viewing, starting, pausing, all that type of thing, as we hope that the time that we do spend is time that just gives you that time to pause and be encouraged. So before we get into our selection from the book of the day from any of my books, as I always try to do, acknowledge people who are doing well, but some who are struggling. So if you're struggling, or you know someone who's struggling or going through a rough time, be it because of health related, finances, relationships, things along those lines, when life is lifing, we just want to say a word of encouragement to you. Take the time you need to kind of pause and reboot. And then if you have access to professional resources, get the help that you need. If you only have access to community or things along those lines, get the help that you need. If you have to change up the way you move and operate, the people you're around, the places and spaces you go, all those types of things, identify positive and constructive ways to help you pull through. And please believe this, even in the midst of whatever struggle, there are people who are rooting for you to pull through. Don't think everybody is against you. Even if the voices that you hear are all negative, everybody isn't, looking for your downfall or destruction. Now, they might be giving you constructive criticism, but no, everyone isn't thinking the worst for you or the worst of you. By the same token, there are people who are doing well if you're going through a positive uptick with your health, your finances, relationships, things along those lines, positive growth opportunities, holistic, holistic growth opportunities. Definitely take time to pause, celebrate, reflect, meditate, give thanks, show gratitude to those entities that have helped you, feed off the positives, and just try to leave as positive a footprint as you can. So we definitely always want to take time to acknowledge people who are going through a struggle and people who are moving beyond a struggle. So those are things we want to do. Today's selection is going to come from my second book, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. And for 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1, it is interview-based, when people opened up about what their biggest daily challenge is, whether it's health-related or whatever life hurdle might be. But they open up through the lens of their faith, best practices that they use in health and wellness, how they use their support network, and how they change their way of thinking to still live positive and powerful lives. So the section that I'm going to pull from is coming from chapter 4, the book of Daniel. Again, chapter 4, the book of Daniel. And it's a quote that kind of resonates a little bit more in today's era, days and times. So let's check it out. Serve your community, meaning your family and greater community at large. For you not to serve is a sin. Serve your community. For you not to serve is a sin. And I tell you what, the first thing that comes to mind is the concept of stewardship, outreach, community service, community advocacy. There's so many ways to serve, and it's not just about yourself. It's about how can what I do, how is it that what I can do or the things that I have the capacity to do can leave a positive footprint, whether it's in my family, whether it's in my neighborhood, whether it's in my city, whether it's at random. There's always a need for us to serve, advocate, be a good steward, things along those lines. There's always a time for us to speak up and speak out against, you know, areas of concern, issues that we see, things that we see that just simply are not right. And we have to, whether through the lens of our faith, through the lens of our personal philosophy, or just thinking, how would we want to be treated if we were in a certain situation? How we want people to approach us, to address us, to speak with us instead of at us. So these are some things to think about when it comes to serve. And whether you want to admit it or not, there's somebody who directly or indirectly helped you. So the best way to say thank you is what? Directly or indirectly help somebody else. So just a couple of things to think about. And that's one of the things from chapter 4 of 9 Stories of Faith, volume 1. If you haven't picked up your copy, you can order it online, but I definitely encourage you to check out your independent bookstores and more. And if it's not at your favorite space, make sure to request it. Okay, just a couple of quick things as we get ready to wind down and get ready for the rest of our day. Many thanks to the bookseller located in Conyers, Georgia. It's a great independent Black woman-owned bookstore coming off of very good experience at the Conyers Book Festival this past Saturday. It is the 3rd year of the festival. My first year as a participating author. I had a wonderful experience talking with fellow authors, readers, book clubs, and more. So many thanks to the team there. And just thank you to everybody that stopped by, said hey, lent support, all that type of thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In regards to upcoming events, we'll have some announcements coming up soon. We're obviously working on dates during the summer. So once we have those confirmed, we will definitely get that communicated to you. Trying to think of a few other things. Oh, congratulations to the Central Gwinnett High School football team who had a very successful golf tournament yesterday at the Old Atlanta Golf Club. So shouts to head coach Terrence Banks, the coaching staff, the alumni, and the supporters of Central Gwinnett High School. There's some good things that are being worked on there. And keep in mind that it's not only just to support the football team, but student athletes in general. So make sure to check out some of the great work going on at Central Gwinnett High School. Trying to think of other things. Shouts to the Hunt For Foundation. There's some things on the horizon that they're doing for next month in Lincoln, Illinois, and just central Illinois. So there's going to be some announcements on that coming soon. Shouts to the Alphas of Atlanta. That is the 501c3 made up of members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated throughout the metro Atlanta area, as next weekend, May 1st through 4th, their 10th annual Alpha Derby weekend, their Kentucky Derby themed event. So you definitely want to check it out. So shouts to the entire committee, leadership, chairs, all that type of thing, and patrons to get your ticket. Like if you can't hit Churchill Downs in Louisville, you definitely want to check this event out. So just hit them up at Alphas of Atlanta as well as Alpha_Derby. Of course, continued thanks to every bookstore, book club, book festival, readers, patrons. Again, our team at Fonte's Coffee with the AuthorASnorton blend. Thank you so much. If there's people who I left out who have been supportive and encouraging, charge it to my head and not to my heart. But we've got some great things that we're always working on. And of course, when they're ready to be dropped, we're going to go ahead and drop them. Speaking of dropping, shouts to the AJ3 report for the great article that they dropped on me for Shout Out Saturday. We talked a lot about the books, audiobooks and coffee, but we also did talk about the Alpha Derby weekend. So you definitely want to check that out. So shouts to the AJ3 report. And I'm going to say that's probably about it for right now. I know we're hustling, bustling, moving and grooving. We've got some great things in the works. I appreciate each and every one of you for liking, sharing, reposting, watching, all that, and then some. It means a lot, and any author will tell you, we can't do what we're doing without your support. So continued well wishes, encouragement to all of you guys. Please continue to take very good care. Have a very good day, a good week, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. All right, take care, y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.